Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another installment of CArehart Quick Tips, a series devoted to issues mostly related to ColdFusion, especially ColdFusion server troubleshooting, but may be of value to people using ColdFusion for any ways, and sometimes things of value for people regardless of whether they use ColdFusion. Anyway, in this episode I do want to focus on something specific to ColdFusion, and that's finding and using the ColdFusion documentation, which would seem like it's pretty simple and straightforward, but there's a lot to it that people get, I find, confused by, misled by, misinterpret things, look in the wrong places, don't appreciate what's available. So I just want to take a few minutes, maybe over a couple different episodes, to show a couple things. So first, I just want to say what happens if we were to, say, go to Google and do a search for ColdFusion documentation. Well, the first thing that would come up, besides the ad, would be a link here, which is not actually the documentation. It's a page about ColdFusion on the Adobe website. You'll often find, if you search for a particular tag or function, you might be directed to some particular ColdFusion documentation. And I want you to notice that if it says live docs, if the thing you search for, or in this case this result, says livedocs.adobe.com, it's going to invariably be ColdFusion 8 docs. And that may not be what you want. The ColdFusion 9 docs, you might need to actually add the word ColdFusion 9 if you want to see something specific to 9, because it just seems like Google tends to show the 8 docs for some reason. So anyway, you can recognize the 9 docs because it'll say it. You'll also see it saying help.adobe.com. Now, interestingly, do you notice that there's no ColdFusion 10 docs right here? There's a couple of other things related to docs. And if you keep going down, you eventually get to this link where Adobe had a blog post that points to the ColdFusion 10 docs. So let's take a look at each of these. First, the ColdFusion 8 docs. And you'll tell pretty clearly you're in those. They come up nice and quick. That's nice. Now, I'm going to show this in each of the versions, but I want you to see that there's more to the ColdFusion documentation than just the CFML reference. And sometimes when you do search for just a tag or function, be careful, you're taken just to the CFML reference. That's only one of at least 4 and really more books that are available for ColdFusion. So there's also the Developer's Guide. A lot of people don't even know the Developer's Guide exists. It's over 1,300 pages of great content about using ColdFusion in all kinds of ways. So check that out. But there's the reference, sure, and you can dig into tags and functions and other kinds of things. Again, we'll cover some more details later. There's installing and using ColdFusion, and then there's configuring and administering. And that's been pretty much true for most releases. So again, that's the CF8 docs. Here's the CF9 docs. They're a little bit different depending on how you get taken into it. You might get taken to a page like this. What you want to get used to when using the 9 docs is there is a navigational toolbar, breadcrumb bar up at the top. And if you're not sure what docs are there, click on that home button, and you're taken to this display of all the available docs for ColdFusion 9. So there's the CFML reference, the developing CF apps, installing CF9, configuring and administering CF9. There's also an action script guide, a builder, installing and using builder guides. Now, another thing that's confusing when people come to this, even if they find it, is they don't notice that this is a set of different manuals, and second, whatever one you pick, like it's for some reason chosen for that link to pick the CFML reference, then down here, this is the chapters of that manual. So again, there's the reference on tags and functions and other things. If I go to the developing CF apps, the interface looks about the same, takes a little bit longer, it's a little slower, but then here too are the chapters in the developing CF apps book. Alright, so that's 8 and 9. 10, like I said, it's a little harder to find. What you could do, of course, is just say a ColdFusion 10 documentation, and that's probably the easiest thing. If you're looking for something, just say ColdFusion 10 whatever. And then you're shown this sort of link, and if you click on it, again, it looks like the CF9 docs. There's the breadcrumbs. If I click on the home, there I'm taken to here. Now, there is something a little bit interesting about the CF10 docs. If you, in Google searching, or even here in the Adobe website, if you go into the CFML reference, or if a link you search for takes you into the CFML reference, check it out. I'm going to click on the CFML reference for CF10, and whoa, another different interface. So for some reason, it's not entirely clear, I mean, the whole CF10 manual has, sorry, let me be clear, the whole CF10 manual set has been redone in a wiki, and that's nice. And there's the various manuals again. It's just that you only get taken to the wiki if you visit a page that is in the CFML reference if you do Google searching. Or if you're on that previous CF10 and I go to this developing CF apps, I stay in that traditional old interface, but for some reason they've chosen to make it so that if you click on the CFML reference, even though look at the URL at the bottom, it looks like the right URL that would go just to a different page like these would, but no, I'm saying if you click on it, it will go to that wiki interface. And the wiki interface is nice. It's got some advantages. We can talk about that another time. Just want you to get a big picture, awareness of a couple of things related to the docs. There's lots more I'd like to talk about, but that's a good, quick start at getting started with it, understanding some of the things you might trip over that could be a little confusing at first. I hope that's helpful, and we'll pick up with another one with some more details later.